Hello, everyone. I hope I'm live now. So, a very good evening to all. First of all, could you guys give me the confirmation whether I'm clearly properly visible or not? And after a few minutes, everyone will join. Then we will start our session to discuss the fundamentals of Python, where today we will focus on the conditional statements, how basically we can write the conditional statements, at what point of time we should go for writing the conditions, what is the syntax in Python specifically, and at the end of the session I'll try to provide you few practice problems. I really want you all to try those practice problems, because as I always say that without doing the practice of coding part you will not able to understand. Okay, so we will start within few seconds. In the meanwhile, let's everyone join in. Give me the confirmation that whether I am clearly visible, properly audible or not. Is my voice is properly audible to each and everyone who is joining me live? If you will give me the confirmation, that will really be helpful for me. And then I'll start sharing my screen and then we can move ahead. Okay. Uh, Pranam, ma'am. Pranam, Mihir. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Vikas. Is my voice is clearly audible to everyone? Can I get some confirmation? And then maybe I'll start sharing my screen. So Vikas has already said that it's clearly audible, and many people have given the confirmation. Perfectly fine. So now what we can do is we can do one thing. Let me try to share my screen also, and you guys just give me the confirmation that is my screen is also properly visible or not. है ना? Okay, screen is visible. This one, and this one. I think all the screens are visible. Perfect. So, the very first thing is that before coming to this session, as I already have announced in my community post as well as on my LinkedIn post, that after talking about mastering the Python strings portion, which we have done 3 days back, the next topic should be about the DSA portion, mastering Python data structures with real life examples. But when I thought of taking this YouTube live, I have seen that I already have taken this live few months back. As you can see, 5 months back, I have taken this session on my channel. So what I have done is I have attached that video in the same playlist, and I'm expecting that everyone before coming to this YouTube live have already watched this particular video completely end to end and is already aware about the concepts of what are the different data structures that we have in Python, and at what point of time in real time applications we should go for which particular data structure. To be very specific, if you guys have already watched this video, can you tell me which particular data structures I have talked about in this video? What are the different DS that we have specifically in Python with respect to this session, those who have already watched? Anyone who can let me know in the chat window what things you have learned in this session? I hope that you already got this information, right? I have already aware you all in the LinkedIn post also, in the community post also, and even in my WhatsApp channel link also. So anyone if has not joined my WhatsApp channel link, please go and check it out. Please try to join that. You will find the link again in the community post. Apart from this, please stay connected with me via LinkedIn, as well as do subscribe this channel, do like the videos. It will really help, first of all, to reach the audience. Secondly, it will help you as well to get the idea that what is going on, right? To stay updated. Okay. So anyone can tell me which particular DS things we have in Python that I have talked about in that session? Anyone who knows? So if you remember, if you have learned from end to end that session, you must have seen that the very first thing I'm talking about is list. Secondly, I am talking about something called as tuple. Third is something which I'm talking about is a set. And the fourth one, which I'm talking about, is a dictionary. Dictionary. So always remember, these are the four unique data structures that we have in Python. And in a very great detail, I have taken this session and attached the recorded video of that in the previous uh, playlist. So in this playlist, if you will see, video number 4 is referring to that, mastering Python DS. So if anyone have missed this particular data structures or this particular video, I would highly recommend you all that after the session, please go and check it out this video so that you will be able to get that continuity and you will be able to understand end to end the concepts which I really want to teach here on this platform. Okay. Uh, Many students are asking few more questions apart from what I'm discussing as of now. I'll take all those logistics at the very end. As of now, I'm focusing more towards the topic which I want to cover up as of now. Okay. Maybe after the session is completed, I'll wait for 10 minutes and will try to answer all your questions if you have. Make sense? So let's get started with the session now. So here we will be having these data structures which I already have discussed. So I request everyone to just check it out once. Now in today's session, I just want to talk about the conditionals portion. So what is the meaning of conditionals? Conditionals meaning that we will be having a condition of if and else. ठीक है? जैसे कि यहाँ पर if you are watching my YouTube live, I'll make one condition. Let's say I will say कि if you will watch my YouTube live completely till the very end, you will be able to understand the session. Otherwise, you will not able to understand. So, in coding language, how will we describe this stuff? When we write this code, if I'll say I want you to write the code that whether a person will be able to understand the session or not, how will you write? What is the condition that we have? So the condition is, what I'm saying is, the condition is that that will be defined in Python by if and else. So what I'm saying is, simple example I have taken, that if the student will wait till the very end, right, will be there at the very end. So I'm just not writing the complete statement. So what I'm saying is, if the student is there till the very end of the session, which is not feasible as in the current state where we have lot many distractions, right? So maybe in the starting of the session, the motivation is very high and you came here, okay? But till the very end, you might feel very lazy. You might feel that you came out from office and now you are listening this stuff. You might feel boring. You might feel very much tired. You might feel that why should not I go and hang out with my friends? It's a late night. So basically, if a student is very much consistent till the very end, then what is the output he will be able to get? Let's say he will be able to understand the stuff. He will be able to understand the stuff. But what is the condition for that? The condition is that that student have to sit and watch this complete session till the very end. In else case, what will happen? In else case, what will happen? That he or she will not be able to understand. Not be able to understand. So at any point of time, whenever we will be having a choices and the conditions to fulfill, right? At any point of time, whenever we will be having, even this is also in Python, written as colon and then print statement. So what is the meaning of conditional statements? Now please try to pay attention here. Conditional statement meaning, when I'm saying mastering conditionals in Python, what is the meaning of that? The simple meaning is that we will be having some specific condition. And if that condition will get fulfilled, then something will happen. So if this condition will get true, then you will be able to write some statement which will get printed. Otherwise, the another one will happen. So this is the literal meaning of conditional statements. I hope everyone will be able to understand. And whenever you are writing any, you are doing any real-time project, there are lot many conditions which you will face, where you will definitely use this concept of if and else. Apart from this, if you have multiple conditions, Then also some other stuff will happen which I'll talk about later. But as of now, in a simple theoretical understanding, if I just want to explain you what is the meaning of conditional statement. The literal meaning is that we have some condition, and if that condition will get true, something will happen. If that is not true, another thing will happen, which is written in the else part. I hope it is clear to everyone, right? Now, in a real time example, if you will observe, let's say, you must see that, whenever we are applying for any of the colleges, whether it's of for the bachelor's part or whether it's of master's part, there is some criteria which we have to fulfill. Maybe I'll take a very simple example, that, maybe I'll say that a person is having a percentage of if a person is having a percentage of 90% or more than that. So if a person is having either greater than or equal to 90%, at that point of time, let's say that I am saying that my code will be written in such a way that I will get a message that congratulations, you are you are you are shortlisted for an IIT. Let's say I'm just referring a simple example here, okay, which is practical also, and which is making sense to you all. Okay. So let's say if a percentage is bigger than 90%, then let's say you are getting this kind of a message. And if let's say it is less than 90%, they have made a criteria that if anyone is getting a percentage less than 90%, then what error you will be able to get, what message you will be able to get in the portal: sorry, you have you have not met the shortlisting criteria. है ना? This is how basically in the portal also we will be able to see the message. Similarly, whenever we are trying to give any exam, for example, GATE exam you are giving or JEE exam you are giving, you used to write the application number. And when you enter that application number, these kind of messages, either a lot of happiness or a lot of sadness will come to you. Either you will receive the message that congratulations, you are having this much rank and you are very, very happy, or you are getting a message like, sorry, you have not met that minimum criteria of passing the marks, right? It must have happened for everyone, including me as well. This is the time that we all have faced it up to. So basically what is happening here, that internally in the portal also, like those who have developed the portal internally in the back end, it means that they have written some criteria, some condition. Means that's where they have applied the if else condition, which we are studying today, to get that message. What message a user will get once he will enter the number, or once he will enter the application number, once he will enter the percentage, once he will enter the marks, or anything like that. So every portal, wherever you will see, whether it's of government exam, whether it's of your college exam or anything where you're getting a result, this kind of things will happen, right? So let's try to see a practical picture of the same. So what I will do is, again, I'll take a Google Colab portal. If you want, please open with me. As I always say, that it would be great if you will try to type with me and write the code as well, so that you will be able to get a better understanding of what we are discussing today. Make sense? So what you have to do, nothing bigger thing you have to do, just you have to write Google Colab in your Google platform, and then you will be able to open this file, connect this file. Once the file will be connected, you will be able to get this kind of a tick mark, where you will be able to get that how much is the RAM size, this disk size is there. It will display to you, right? So the similar kind of a thing, now we will be able to write it in the code part. How basically the code will be done with respect to whatever concept just now I have explained to you. So what I'm saying is, there is a IIT shortlist percentage. Okay? Now we are assuming that this percentage is something which is equals to 90.0. Okay? This is what I have mentioned. Now what I'm saying is, I'm saying candidate percentage. Now what I want is, I want that candidate to enter his percentage, because I don't know what is his percentage. Now the question is, I haven't covered up how basically we can input any number in Python. user defined input. So today we will study that part as well. So let's say if you want to input the number from the user itself at every point of time when you execute your code, how it can happen. So Shivam is talking about Jupyter Notebook. As I already have mentioned in my previous sessions, whatever platform is comfortable to you, you can just take up that platform. Okay. So now basically here, if you will observe, the question is how we can take an input. So let me take a simple. There is a function by the name of input, and with the help of this function, you can take any of the input. Now, what is basically happening is, let's say you are taking a input as percentage. Okay. So what I'm saying is this is how basically you can take an input in Python. Now, if I just run this, let me run this code. What is happening? It is saying that please enter any number. So a box is coming up. Let's say I will mention the percentage as 87. And the task is done. Now there is one problem here. When I am writing just simple input type and I'm just inputting from the user, the percentage is 87. If I'll just check it out, the type of this percentage variable. Now, I hope everyone knows what is variable. So I don't need to explain that part. I already have explained. So now you all know the types also that we have for the variables. And we have discussed a lot more in depth with respect to the string type in our previous session. I hope you all remember and you are following me. Please do follow the series in a sequence. Okay. If you will miss any of the sequence, then you will not able to, connect with me. Okay. So now here I am assuming that those who are watching me live or those who will watch after the live as well in a recorded pace, I will pre-assume that in the playlist previous sessions you already have watched. So here if you will observe, str is the type that we are getting. But what I want is, I want the percentage to be of float type, because anyone can get percentage as 87.9, anyone can get maybe 83.4. It should be of float type, है ना? So one thing which we have observed here, one thing which we have learned here, first thing is I have discussed how to take input, how to take input from the user. First point is what we have discussed, and here I have talked about something called as input function. But second important thing, key thing which you have learned here is that whenever we are using this input function and we will enter input from the user, by default it will take str as the input data type. Have you observed this thing? Can I say this is the inference that we have get from whatever discussion we have made? Is this point is clear to everyone? Because we have observed that I have not defined any type, because in Python we usually don't define also, but it is automatically taking it as a str. But now what I want is, I want the percentage type to be a float. That's the issue. And that's where there is very beautiful concept of something called as typecasting came into picture. Someone have mentioned also in the chat window. Very good. Who have mentioned? Yeah. So as you can see, Naveen Babu have already mentioned we have to do typecasting here. So what is the meaning of a typecasting? Now please try to understand. Okay. So now what I want is, I want to convert by default input type of str to maybe integer, maybe float, anything. So as of now, my need is to convert that str to a float one. So what is the meaning of a typecasting? Here, what typecasting we are doing? We are doing the conversion of str type to the float type, right? Float data type. Make sense? So this is how basically we will be able to do that. Now, how basically this typecasting will be done? Please try to pay attention here via the code part. So now what you have to do, whatsoever type conversion you want. For example, here I want float type. Just mention that. Inside this, again mention input, because this is the function that we have. Let's say if you want to add some comment in the input part, you can add inside this as well. Enter your percentage. You can say enter your percentage, है ना? I can ask to the user that please enter your percentage. Now, what is the thing which we have to discuss here? What is the important condition? Just now I have talked about the important condition is that if, let's say, IIT, or you can say, if, let's say, the candidate candidate percentage is, let's suppose, bigger than or equal to the IIT shortlist percentage, है ना? In that case, what should happen? Can you see the syntax? I have mentioned the colon. And now automatically when I reached below, it is, this is where I have to write the print statement. What I want to print? I want to print congratulations. Congratulations. Let's say I just want to mention this, or you can say a bigger line also. You are selected to an IIT college. Let's say I'm just randomly writing something here, right? Although it is not that much simple. In IITs, only 90% might not work nowadays. But as of now, we are taking a hypothetical situation. Else, let's say what we have to print now, we can say print, and here we can mention what we can mention. Sorry, you didn't met the selection criteria. So now I hope you will be able to understand. This is something which we called as conditional statements. Conditional statements. So in general, conditional statements are what? It's nothing but is a if-else condition, where if at any point of time, if this condition will get true, then this particular statement will run. Otherwise, the below statement will run. Is this point is clear to everyone? Now, let me show you the demonstration for the same. So now what I will do, I'll just run this. Enter your percentage. For example, if I'll enter, let's say I am getting 94%. So what it is saying to me, congratulations, you are selected to an IIT college. If I just run it again, and if I just enter, let's say 86, which is less than 90, if I just run this, what you're getting as an output is, sorry, you didn't meet the selection criteria. This is a very simple example, which I think you all will be able to relate, because at every point of time we need to give the exams. Entrance exams are there, board exams are there. There are so many exams, and I hope that everyone must have written their application number or their marks or their criteria is meeting or not. So basically, at every point of time, this kind of conditional statements are working internally to display the output at the user end. I hope everyone is able to understand what I'm trying to convey here. Any doubt until so far, please do ask from me. Is this clear? Simple if else condition. So if any condition will get satisfied, if this particular condition will get true, I will be able to do this task. Otherwise, I'll be able to do the another task. Is that fine to everyone? So simple, right? If we will discuss with the examples, it seems very, very simple. Okay, so now, as many students have said, it's clear. So let's move ahead now to the very, so we will make the story on top of this itself. Now you know that in many colleges, sometimes what happened is they didn't clearly say that you didn't meet the criteria. They take some students in the waiting list. I hope you all know, right? I hope you all know that usually what happens is, let's say top creamy students are there, and it might be the case that they will be able to get another top-notch IIT, maybe IIT Bombay they will be able to get. So seats will be empty. So what usually colleges do? Colleges try to make some waiting list also for the students who are not meeting as of now the criteria of 90%, but maybe they will be having 89 or 88 or 87. So what they usually do is, because they are not very too far from 90%, they usually try to put in a bucket of a waiting list, and they usually display the messages, okay, you are not selected, but it's not like that you are rejected, you are in the waiting list. So there is a very high chance that if students will drop out from that college, you will get selected, right? So that's where we usually get worried that okay, now it's very suspicious whether we will be able to get a chance or not. It's a very it's the time where we are very very worried that what will happen next about our future. And I think that situation also came to very huge amount of students here as well. It came for me as well. Okay, so now let's try to write that situation. If that situation will come, what will happen? So in literal words, what I'm trying to convey here, that it might be the case that at any situation, at any point of time, when you're writing a code, there is not only two conditions. There are multiple conditions. Now the question is how we can deal with the multiple conditions in Python. Okay? So that's something which we want to discuss now. So what we can do, I'll just copy this same code. Okay? What I will do here is I will try to write one more condition. Now see, when you're writing one more condition, in between if and else, there is something called as elif which we have to apply. Elif and then the condition. The full form is else if. Like if the first condition will not met, it will go to the elif part. Now in elif part, I am writing one condition. Listen this very carefully. I am saying, let's say if the candidate percentage is less than the, as of now, whatever be the IIT shortlist criteria that we have, less than that IIT shortlist percentage, that's fine. But, and let's say the candidate percentage is equal to maybe 89, or let's say it's greater than 85, because 85 and 90 is very near. So I'm taking, or maybe 88 you can take. Okay. Now what we are saying is that if at any point of time percentage is smaller but bigger than 88, because 88 is very near number to 90, what I will print? I'll print one statement here. I'll say, what I'll say here, I'll say that you are lying in the waiting list. So what I will say that you are in the waiting list. Something like that. Now if I just run this code again, let's say I will mention my percentage as 89. So it indicates that you are in the waiting list, right? If let's say I will mention my percentage as 72, it clearly says that I'm not meeting the criteria. If I'll say that my percentage is 98, it is automatically saying to me that congratulations, you are selected. So basically, on the basis of the percentage that a person is getting or is typing as an input, we will be able to get three different output. Now, according to your own needs, you can change these numbers. I have taken very hypothetical number just to explain to you the idea behind the conditional statements that we have in Python. Okay, now Shivam is asking one question. Can we use three if statements rather than if, elif, else later? Will it be the same? Very, very interesting question. See, what we have done here, it's very important. And in an interview, many people can ask from you, and sometimes students get confused in this basic concepts. It's a very crucial question, actually. I must say that a very good question is there. So what he is saying is that what I have done, there are two things which we can do here. One way is, which I have done just now, I have taken if, then there is one condition C1. If this is true, then we are printing something, right? We are printing something. Otherwise, we are taking elif, then we are saying condition number true. If it is getting true, we are saying print it. If that is not the case, then finally we are moving towards the else block and printing that statement. This is what we have done just now. But now what Shivam have asked, very interesting question. He said if instead of doing this, all these stuffs, what I will do, I'll say if condition C1 is satisfied, print this. Otherwise, if condition C2 is satisfied, print that. You know? If condition C3 is satisfied, print again. This is what Shivam is asking, I hope. This is the Approach 1, to write a code. Approach 1. This is the approach 2. And by the way, both the approaches will give you the correct result. In terms of displaying the output, if you will see on the screen, both the approaches will give you the same result, correct result. Now, in terms of optimization, listen my statement very carefully what I'm saying. In terms of optimization, meaning that when internally the code is running up, is approach number 1 is better or approach number 2 is better, and why? Can anyone give me the answer? In terms of optimization, when you're writing any real-time project code, which approach will you prefer? Approach 1 or approach 2? Means for your system, internally when the code is running up, execution time will be lesser, should be lesser, right? When you're writing a code, your time complexity should be very less. Execution time should be very less. That's a sign of a good developer. So what I'm saying is approach 1 is better or approach 2 is better? And why is that so? So now Vikas is saying that, approach 1 is far better than approach 2. Can anyone give me the reason? If anyone will be able to give the proper reason, then again, it's a very good intuition which he or she will be able to get from this session. So anyone who can tell me the reason behind that? It's correct. So approach number 1, I am also agreeing with this statement, is far, far better than approach number 2. The question is, why is that? So because the point where we should focus on at every point of time when we are learning something is, why is that so? If I am saying, okay, this is something which is better than this one, why? What is the reason behind that? This is what we have to ask from ourselves first. Okay, so Naveen is answering some point here. It will execute only one block of code. Yes. So basically now try to understand the gist of the complete session, what I'm trying to convey here. See, when I'm talking about approach number 1, what is happening here? We are using if, elif, and else. So what I'm saying is that if at any point of time, if this condition will get satisfied, it will print this and skip all other blocks. All other conditional checking will get skipped because now we completely run this. At any point of time, at any of the block, either this or this or this, condition is satisfied, so it will not enter in the another block to check the condition. But in the approach number 2, because you have mentioned the if condition, it will check, even though the first condition will get satisfied, you will be able to print the statement. Again, it will check the condition number 2 and the condition number 3 because you have mentioned the if blocks. So every condition will be checked and whichever condition will be making it the true will get printed. But in the approach number 1, if let's say in the best case scenario, condition number 1 will get satisfied, it will print that and the code will be running faster. Done. Code will be done. But here, the code will not be done. It will again check for condition number 2, then for condition number 3. That's the difference between approach 1 and approach 2. That's why the execution time in approach number 1 is far, far lesser as comparable to the approach number 2. Is that point is clear to everyone? Very, very crucial point. So let me write it down. It's a very important point for today's session to understand because it's a very fundamental point as of if I'll say, but many people are not even good at the fundamentals. That's the issue. So yeah, approach to run one by one, it will take more execution time. So process will be slow. Very, very correct, apt line. In case number 2, this is what it will happen. What if we need to print 2 matched conditions? Shivam, what is the meaning of that? What if we need to print 2 matched conditions? That's where you will apply the AND. So there are conditional statements in between that you will have and, or, not, right? So if let's say you have 2 conditions and you want to match both of the conditions to be true, so what you will do, you will say C1 and C2, and that is what I have used just now, right? Here, if you will observe, I have used something called as AND operator. So we have 3 operators here. If you will see, I have used AND operator because what I want is I want this condition to be true as well as this condition to be true. So if you want both the conditions to be true, if you are saying this question only, so this is how basically you will do. So these are something which we called as logical operators. So at any point of time, if let's say you will be having the two conditions, three conditions, four conditions, and you want every condition to be true, that's where you will use AND operator. If you want any one of them to be true, that's where you will use OR operator. So if you want any of the condition to be true, any of the condition to be true, that's where you will use the OR operator. Condition to be true. And meaning that what you want is both the condition must be true. Both the condition must be true. I hope it makes sense to everyone. And then not operator is just the reverse of what is the condition that you have. If it is yes, then automatically it will make no. If it is no, it will make yes. Okay, perfect. Shall we move ahead? So, as Vikas mentioned it as a concluding line, when both conditions to be true used and operator, any of them to be true, we used or operator. Very much apt line. It's the concluding line of what I have discussed just now. Shall we move ahead now to the next important part, next important discussion of any practical example of this conditional statements? Yes, yes, perfect. So now what we can do is we will try to write the code for a ticket pricing. Ticket pricing, movie ticket pricing, movie ticket pricing. Now, I hope everyone must have booked the tickets via Book My Show, app or via Paytm. And usually, what you will observe that maybe depending upon your age, depending upon the recliner you are taking, or depending upon backstage you are taking, or front you are taking, you will be having different categories of tickets, right? Normal, executive, then recliner is of very high rate, right? After that, if another important thing depending upon the price thing is that whether you are watching the movie on the weekends or on the weekdays. If you will observe smartly, on the weekends they will put the very high charge of same movie tickets. Have you observed that? Because they also know that on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, people have the time and they will definitely come and watch the movies. But on the working days from Monday to Friday, depending upon the timings, maybe on the lunch time, the tickets are of very cheap price. So what I want is I want that depending upon all those criterias, I want to mention the price. So again, here, if you will observe, there are so many conditions, so many restrictions that we have. Depending upon that, we will be having a pricing system of the movie tickets. So let's try to create that. So let's say that the very first thing is um, maybe as of now we are picking up the age, and depending upon the age, if the age is bigger, we will take a higher price. If the age is smaller, we will take a smaller price. So let's say we will enter the age of a person, and that is of integer type. So what we can say, we will typecast and we will say input, and here we can mention that enter your age. This is the first input which the pricing portal is taking up. Second input is the day. So it will fetch up what is the day. So let's say the user is entering the day as well. So now we know by default it will take the string type only. So there is no need of typecasting which is required here. So we will just mention, is it a weekday or weekend? Okay? It will ask, है ना? It will ask, and then What I will do is I'll convert whatever user will enter into lowercase so that everyone will have a similar kind of a string that we will be able to get. So now we will be having age, we will be having a day. Perfect. Now, on the basis of age and on the basis of whether it's a working day or a weekend, I will write the charges, price of a ticket. So what I'll say if let's say the age is less than 5, ठीक है if any very small kid is booking a ticket, or his or her parents is booking a ticket, there is no price as such, so I'll say price is equal to 0 in that scenario. ठीक है. Now let's move ahead. Elif, let's say the age is less than equal to 12. ठीक है. In that case, maybe I will say the price is equals to maybe 100. As of now, I'm mentioning this. Now, if that is not the scenario, then again multiple conditions are there. So elif, if the age is, let's say, bigger than or equal to 65, again it's a kind of a senior citizen, so I will make the price low, bit low, maybe 80. Okay. And now if apart from all these ages, which age is pending? Apart from all these ages, which age is pending? Youngsters, which definitely will come. Many people, if you will go in the movie theater, maximum people are youngsters only. So what I will do, I will make smartly the price to be very, very high for them, because I know they are the working people, they are the celebrated person, they are coming for just enjoyment per se, and they earn very good amount of money. So maybe I'll just take it up as let's say 200 as of now. Okay. Very high price for the youngsters that we have, who are coming to watch the movie. Now this is something which is fine. So this is the normal price, which is for the weekday. Now if let's say if the day is a weekend, so now I want to apply surplus charge for the weekend. So what I'll say the day is equal to, if the day is equal to weekend, ठीक है, the day is equals to weekend, then what I want is I want the price to be raised by, let's say, 200. ठीक है, because the day is weekend, so I'll make a huge amount of money. And now what I want is I want the movie ticket price to be displayed. So movie ticket price. And now here I'll say I'll display the price, okay, in INR. Make sense? So basically now we will be able to get the complete price. Let's try to run this code. Let's see what will happen. Let's say I'll enter the age as 26. Let's say I'll enter it's a weekend. So what I'm getting as the price? 400. One thing which we can do, we can just make a space here and then we can run this. Is this clear to everyone? So what we have done here, now what we can do is we can enter a senior citizen age. Let's say there is someone who is of 80 age, hai na? Let's say it's a weekday because they are not working people, they are retired person, so they can come on weekdays. And now movie ticket price will be of 80 rupees INR. Hai na? Okay, so now there are few questions which I'm getting here. First question, Shivam is asking that why you make it lower. See, it's very simple, intuitive. What we have mentioned is weekday or weekend. So here I'm using this assignment operator. Can you see that? So if let's say now Python is case sensitive. So let's say if someone will write in the uppercase letter weekend, so it will not able to give me the correct result. So if it will not be able to give me the correct result, it will not able to increase the price. So I'm in a loss, right? So what we want is, we want that anyone will write anything in terms of capital or small, whatever the person will write, because we can't say to the user that it is important to write in the lower case. If we will say also, by mistake, a user can enter in a capital letter also. But we as a coder will know that now it is a problem, right? If he or she will by mistake enter the capital keywords, because Python is a case sensitive language. So what we have done, we have made it in a complete lower, whatever the letter he or she will write, I'll completely convert it into lowercase, and then it will be compared. If the price is if the day is weekend, then I'll increase the price. I hope it answers your question, Shivam. Then Ankit said, we can say that today what we learn is yeah, you can say that, right? Then, but you don't declare price variable. So I think, Shivam, you haven't watched my session of mastering variables in Python. Live session was there in the same playlist. I have already explained that we don't, in Python, we don't need to, declare the type specifically, that what is the type we want. Automatically, when you're mentioning 0 or 100 or 80, it will automatically assume it to be of integer type. In order to be in a more detail, I would recommend, please go and check it out, the second session that I have taken, mastering variables in Python. You will be automatically able to understand what I'm trying to convey here. So this is how basically the ticket pricing will be decided. And now you can add on top of that more factors also, like a person is booking the ticket on the normal or executive or recliner one. Depending upon that, again, you can increase the charge, right? Python is dynamic programming language. That's true, right? Okay, perfect. Now, I believe that now you will be able to understand that how we can write multiple conditions, how we can write a single condition, if and else, and at what point of time we should go for this conditional properties or conditional statements in Python. Now, as I always say that session will be fruitful only when you will do you will be able to solve the practice problems as well. Now I am giving you, I'll obviously share this github this collab file in my GitHub repo. I'm writing few problems which I really want you all, to do the implementation and upload it in your GitHub portal and write the solution in the comment section. If you want, you can directly write the solution in the comment section also of this video. So the problem number one, which I want everyone to try at their home after learning from this session, is, so now comes the practice problems. And let me tell you, as I always say, that whatsoever number of problems you will listen from the mentor or you will understand from the mentor, if you will not apply that knowledge by writing a code, you will not able to understand it fully. So please make sure that whatever questions I am giving you at the very end of the session, you will try to do the implementation for the same and write in the comment section, so that I will also check it out and will let you know that whether this is correct or not. As of now, I have not seen even a single problem to be solved in the complete playlist, because I can't see any single comment. It's very disheartening, because I am putting a lot of effort, I am putting a lot of time of mine after coming out from office, and then working here with you all requires a lot of dedication, and I'm doing here. So what I want from you all is this only, right? Apart from this, please do share this. As I always say, that I really need your support in order to reach to more wider audience. And if you will do this particular support with respect to my part, it will really means a lot to me. Okay, so let's talk about the very first problem which I want everyone to solve at their home is, and whatever problems I'm saying here, it can be asked from you in an interviews as well. So it's a practice of your interviews also, with respect to whatever uh, uh, position you will go in an interview, maybe of data scientist, maybe of full stack web developer. DSA is something, or this questions which I'm asking is something which will definitely will ask from you. Very simple, very easy level. Very first problem is that you need to check that whether a string, you need to check whether a string is a palindromic string or not. Okay, whether a string is a palindromic string or not. Accordingly, you need to display the output. For example, if I'll just show you, I hope everyone knows what is the meaning of a palindromic string, but still let me show you. Let's say if I'll take a string as mom. So if you will observe, when I am looking into the string from left to right, I'm coming up with the characters as mom, and from right to left also mom is there. So what I want as an output is that this is as true. Otherwise, I want the output as false. So if the string is palindromic, I want the output as true. Otherwise, I want the output as false. Okay? Second question, which I want everyone to practice at their home is that I want that you need to check it out or figure it out. So user will enter the character. You need to check whether the character entered by the user entered by the user is a vowel or a consonant. Now I hope everyone knows what is the meaning of a vowel and what is the meaning of a consonant. So when I'm saying vowel, it is a, e, I, o, u, right? Apart from this, all the characters belongs to a consonant. So basically what you have to do is you have to write a code where, character as let's say if I'll enter the character as a, so it will give me that this character is a vowel. Okay? If let's say I'll enter the character as z, so it will give me the output as this is a consonant. Okay? Simple. If you will observe in both of these implementations, it requires you to apply the knowledge of what you have learned today, means the conditional statements. So now I just want to see, even apart from this, you require the knowledge of string slicing that we have discussed in the last session, if you apply that, and also the list or tuple or dictionary that we have discussed in the last session, if you will apply this in this particular case. Everyone's way of implementation is different, but yeah, if you have the knowledge of all the above sessions, then you will be able to write a code in a better sense, in a more optimized manner. And I'm genuinely looking forward to your codes in the comment section. Let's see that who will be able to give me the codes. There are so many students who watched me live, there are so many students who watched me after the live, but let's see who will be able to give me the codes as well, because just watching me doesn't make sense, because it is helping me to practice the questions. But what I want is I want you all to practice with me. That's why I usually say in the live also, please do practice with me. And after the live also, I try to give you the practice problems, also the quiz questions which will come up tomorrow morning. Again, with respect to this conditional part, I'll try to give you the quiz questions also. And then maybe we will move ahead with respect to the another part of the session. Okay? Is this clear to everyone? So I will share this file and the coding note file also in the GitHub repo. So you can just follow me on the GitHub. If someone don't know, just enter Priya Bhatia GitHub. You will be able to get my profile and you will be able to get the Python programming playlist thing. Please continue the series of Python. My learning perfectly matches with the teaching style. Definitely, Ankit. I'll continue doing that. Quiz is awesome. Perfectly fine. I think by doing the quiz questions, you will be able to get the idea that how much learning you are doing here. Okay. So that's why after every live session, I used to upload the quiz questions, and please do try to answer those questions. You will be able to get the idea only when you will make sure that you will subscribe that, so that you will be able to get an idea that, okay, this time this is happening. I can't share with you everything on the spot. Please be active. Okay. Okay. Cleared, but discuss slice method again. So in slicing, see, what is the meaning of a slicing, Vikas? Slicing meaning that if let's say we will be having a string, ठीक है, हमारे पास में एक स्ट्रिंग है, आप चाहते हो मैं हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन करूं तो मैं हिंदी में बताती हूं. मैंने बोला P R I Y A, ठीक है. अब स्लाइसिंग का मतलब ये होता है कि मुझे इस पूरी स्ट्रिंग से कुछ कैरेक्टर्स निकालने हैं, ठीक है. अब जैसे मेरे पास में ये 0 हो गया, ये 1, ये 2, ये 3 और ये 4. अब मेरे को क्या करना है, मैं चाहती हूं कि मैं इस पूरी स्ट्रिंग में से ना R और I को निकालूं. तो मैंने आपको क्या बताया था कि लेट्स से स्ट्रिंग का नाम क्या है, str है, ठीक है. तो str ऑफ आपको ये बताना है कि स्टार्टिंग का कैरेक्टर कौन सा है. मेरे को आउटपुट में क्या चाहिए, मैं डिस्प्ले में करना चाहती हूं RI, ठीक है. प्लीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कॉन्सेप्ट, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट. स्लाइसिंग एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है स्ट्रिंग्स के अंदर. किसी को अगर समझ में नहीं आया, मैं फिर से रिपीट कर रही हूं, प्लीज समझने की कोशिश करो यहां पे मैं क्या बोल रही हूं. आपको क्या करना है, आपको आर और आई चाहिए ना, आप क्या करोगे, आपको पता है इंडेक्स नंबर क्या है, 1 है, कोलन। अब आपको क्या करना है, लास्ट इंडेक्स नंबर क्या है, आई डिस्प्ले करना है, आई को डिस्प्ले करना है, तो आपको उससे अगले वाले कैरेक्टर को मेंशन करना पड़ेगा, अगले वाले कैरेक्टर की लेंथ को, इंडेक्स को मेंशन करना पड़ेगा। तो जब आप 1 से 3 मेंशन करोगे, सो देन इट विल डिस्प्ले द आउटपुट एज, अच्छा 1 पे क्या है आर, 2 पे क्या है आई, 3 पे क्या है, 3 वाला वो एंटर नहीं करेगा, 3 वाला वो डिस्प्ले नहीं करेगा। तो हमेशा ध्यान रखना कि जो लास्ट इंडेक्स नंबर जो आप डालते हो ना, वो डिस्प्ले नहीं होता, उससे पहले तक होता है। तो ये बात सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है स्लाइसिंग में जानना। ये पहला इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है जो मैंने आपको लास्ट सेशन में बताया था। सेकेंड इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट मैंने बताया था कि कई बार क्या होता है कि लेट से कि मुझे आउटपुट में क्या चाहिए, लेट से मुझे आउटपुट में चाहिए कि मैं एक एक कैरेक्टर को छोड़ के प्रिंट करवाऊं। जैसे कि मैं चाहती हूं कि सबसे पहले टी प्रिंट हो, उसके बाद आई प्रिंट हो, उसके बाद ए प्रिंट हो। दिस इज हाउ बेसिकली आई वांट कि मैं पी चाहती हूं, फिर आई चाहती हूं, फिर मैं ए चाहती हूं, एक एक कैरेक्टर को छोड़ के। तो उस केस में मैंने आपको एक और इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट बताया कि एस टी आर। अब आपको क्या करना है, आपको शुरू से शुरू करना है, मतलब आप 0 से शुरू करोगे, आपको कहां तक जाना है, आपको 4 तक डिस्प्ले करवाना है, तो आपको 5 तक जाना है इन अ वे, दिस इज द लास्ट कैरेक्टर। उसके बाद आपको जंप कितना करना है, वो आप लास्ट वाले उसमें लिखोगे। आपको जंप करना है 2। इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, ये हो गया स्टार्ट इंडेक्स, ये हो गया एंड इंडेक्स +1, और ये हो गया जंप फैक्टर कि कितना वैल्यू जंप करना है। 0 से स्टार्ट हुआ, फिर आपने बोला 0 के बाद कहां जाओ, 0+2 पे जाओ। तो 0 स्टार्ट हुआ, पी आया, 0+2 पे गए, आई आया, 2+2 पे गए, 4 ए आ गया। अब यहां पे जाके वो रुक जाएगा क्योंकि आखिरी क्या है, 5, 5 से पहले रुकेगा, मतलब वो 4 पे जाके रुक जाएगा। सो दिस इज हाउ बेसिकली यू विल बी एबल टू प्रिंट दैट टी आई ए पी अप। ठीक है, तो ये सेकेंड इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जो मैंने बताई थी, स्टार्ट एंड +1 जंप। अब अगर आपको इसको शॉर्ट उसमें लिखना है तो आप क्या कर सकते हो, मैंने ये बताया था कि डिफॉल्ट जो है ना, आप कॉलन कॉलन 2 करोगे तो भी आपके पास में सेम आंसर आएगा, पी आई ए। इसका मतलब क्या कि बाय डिफॉल्ट अपना कोड जो है ना, वो इंटरनली पाइथन इतना स्मार्ट है कि वो अंडरस्टैंड कर लेता है कि भाई बाय डिफॉल्ट क्या है, स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्स 0 ही होगा, तो डिफॉल्ट वो 0 ही लेगा, डिफॉल्ट वो एंड 5 ही लेगा। तो यूजर को स्पेसिफिकली मेंशन करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है। तो अगर मान लो आपके पास में बहुत बड़ी स्ट्रिंग है, तो आपको टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना काउंट करते हुए कि मेरा आखिरी कैरेक्टर किस इंडेक्स पे होगा। आप डायरेक्टली क्या लिख दो, कोलन कोलन 2। ठीक है, तो वो आपको रिजल्ट दे देगा जो आपको चाहिए, पी आई ए। उसके बाद मैंने आपको एक और बात बताई थी पिछले सेशन में, काफी इंपॉर्टेंट था वो भी, कि अगर मुझे आखिरी से इंडेक्स को स्टार्ट एक्सेस करना है तो एक और तरीका क्या है, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5। मतलब कि हमारे पास में नेगेटिव इंडेक्सिंग भी होती है पाइथन में। अब यहां पे अगर आप एस टी आर ऑफ -1 बोलोगे ना, तो आपके पास में आउटपुट क्या आएगा, ए आएगा। ऐसे ही अगर आप एस टी आर 4 बोलोगे तो भी ए ही आएगा। तो मतलब अपने पास में पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव दोनों इंडेक्सिंग होती है। तो अगर कोई आपको बोलता है कि भैया स्ट्रिंग को ना रिवर्स करो, मतलब कि मुझे आउटपुट में क्या चाहिए, मुझे चाहिए ए वाई आई आर पी। अब ध्यान से देखना, दिस कॉन्सेप्ट विल हेल्प यू टू डू द फर्स्ट प्रॉब्लम जो मैंने आपको आज दी है, पैलिंड्रोम वाली। क्योंकि पैलिंड्रोम में आपको यही चेक करना है कि स्ट्रिंग जो है वो रिवर्स हो रही है कि नहीं, रिवर्स होने पे सेम स्ट्रिंग आ रही है कि नहीं, कैसे चेक कर सकते हैं, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, यही कॉन्सेप्ट आपको लगाना है वहां पे भी। अब देखो यहां पे आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, आप क्या कहोगे, एस टी आर, अगर आप लिखते हो कोलन कोलन -1, तो ये करेगा, ये आपकी स्ट्रिंग को क्या कर देगा, रिवर्स कर देगा, सिंपल। अब इसमें हुआ क्या, आपने बोला, ऑटोमेटिकली आपके कोड ने समझ लिया कि मुझे आखिरी इंडेक्स से शुरू करना है, मतलब कि इसने समझा कि आपको एस टी आर ऑफ 5 से शुरू करना है, क्योंकि नहीं 4 से शुरू करना है, क्योंकि आपको कहां जाना है, ए के पास जाना सबसे पहले। फिर उसके बाद आपने बोला कि मेरे को पूरा के पूरा स्कैन करना है और माइनस करते हुए जाओ, मतलब पहले 4 पे जाएगा, फिर 3 पे, फिर 2 पे, फिर 1 पे, फिर 0 पे। तो इस तरीके से आपकी पूरी स्ट्रिंग जो है वो डिस्प्ले हो जाएगी। तो मतलब क्या हुआ, मतलब ये हुआ कि हम स्लाइसिंग फॉरवर्ड पास में भी कर सकते हैं, अगर आपका जंप फैक्टर पॉजिटिव है तो बैकवर्ड पास में भी कर सकते हैं अगर आपका जंप फैक्टर नेगेटिव है तो। ठीक है, यही सिंपल सिंपल चीजें थी जो मैंने आखिरी पिछले सेशन में इंग्लिश में बताई थी आपको कि कैसे आप स्लाइसिंग को कर सकते हैं. विकास, इज दिस क्लियर नाउ? इज दिस क्लियर टू एवरीवन? स्लाइसिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है. मैं अगर आपको फिर भी क्लैरिटी नहीं मिल रही है, मैं फिर से चाहती हूँ कि आप लोग जाओ और पुराने सेशन को रेफर करो. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है और बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस जो है ना इंटरव्यूज के, वो सॉल्व हो जाएंगे स्लाइसिंग के कॉन्सेप्ट से अगर आप कर पाए तो. उसके लिए आपको प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ेगी. और मैंने बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स लास्ट सेशन में बताए हैं आपको. अब मैंने हिंदी में भी बता दिया है. अब फिर से जाके उसको देखो एक बार. जो जो एग्जांपल्स बताए, जो जो स्ट्रिंग्स लिए, उसको खुद से इंप्लीमेंट करो. खुद से एक बार चेक करो कि आ रहा है कि आउटपुट, या फिर ऐसा है कि उन्हीं का आ रहा था. बिकॉज व्हेन आई एम डूइंग द कोड, आई एम डूइंग आउट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस. पर एज अ बिगिनर जब आप करोगे, आप लोग को दिक्कत भी आएगी, आप लोग को समझ में भी नहीं आएगा कि क्या हो रहा है स्टार्टिंग में. देन अगेन यू हैव टू रीवॉच द सेशन एंड देन यू विल गेट द अंडरस्टैंडिंग. ठीक है? दिस इज हाउ बेसिकली यू विल गेट द better expertise over the concepts. The only thing, so many people usually ask me how to get expertise over DSA, how to get expertise over the concepts of data science. One simple answer is practice. The more you practice to write the code again and again and again, you will get expertise because your mind will be trained in such a way that okay, now this is how basically the flow should go. ठीक है? तो अपने को प्रैक्टिस में कमी नहीं छोड़नी है. रिजल्ट अपने आप आना शुरू हो जाएगा. दिस इज व्हाट I always say to everyone, and this is what I am saying to you all as well. Okay? I hope now it makes sense to everyone. Ankit is saying, Didi, confused in Java or Python. ये वीडियो देखी आप लोगों ने? कल मैंने एक वीडियो रिलीज करी है. हैव यू वॉच द वीडियोज विच आई हैव रिलीज यस्टरडे? क्या नाम था वीडियो का? मेरे को नाम खुद को याद नहीं है एग्जैक्ट तो, बट कुछ तो उसमें मैंने बताया है इसके बारे में. देखी नहीं है आप लोगों ने? ये वाली वीडियो देखी है? किसने देखी है? की प्रिंसिपल्स फॉर अचीविंग योर गोल्स. इसमें मैंने लास्ट पॉइंट यही डिस्कस किया है. अंकित, देखो अपन ना बहुत बार ना कंफ्यूजन में रह जाते हैं कि हम ये करें या वो करें, इसको स्टार्ट करें या उसको स्टार्ट करें. आपको कोई भी लैंग्वेज स्टार्ट कर सकते हो. लैंग्वेज इज जस्ट अ टूल टू इंप्लीमेंट द कोड, राइट? अब आपका ड्रीम क्या है? आपको करना क्या है फ्यूचर में? आपको कौन सी डोमेन में जाना है? लेट्स से आप बोलते हो मुझे ना एंड्रॉयड डेवलपर बनना है या मुझे जावा डेवलपर बनना है, तो आप जावा में कोड करना शुरू कर दो. अगर आपको लगता है कि आपको ना डेटा साइंस में जाना है या डेटा इंजीनियरिंग में जाना है, तो आप इसके किस में पाइथन शुरू कर दो. बीट एनी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. डीएसए के प्रोस्पेक्टिव से देखा जाए तो कोई मैटर करता ही नहीं है. ठीक है? आप अगर इंटरव्यू देने जाओगे तो कोई आपको फोर्स भी नहीं करेगा कि आपको इसी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज में काम करना है. सो प्लीज ट्राई टू स्टार्ट द थिंग्स. डोंट ओवर थिंक which thing should I start. स्टार्ट करो. फेल होगा तो कुछ और स्टार्ट कर लेना, बट एटलीस्ट स्टार्ट तो करो. डोंट बी इन द सिचुएशन कि आप बस अटके ही हुए हो एक जगह पे. ठीक है? डू इट, डू इट. Okay, then I think now we are good to go. I have answered all your questions. अगर फिर भी कुछ डाउट है तो प्लीज चेक इट आउट द वीडियोज हियर. ऑल द वीडियोज आर देयर इन द प्लेलिस्ट. क्वेश्चंस जो आपको दिए हैं, प्रैक्टिस प्रॉब्लम्स, आई वांट एवरीवन सॉल्यूशन टू बी देयर इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. लेट्स सी हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू विल बी एबल टू गिव मी द आंसर वेरी मच एप्टली. ठीक है? इसी के साथ ही मिलते हैं बहुत जल्द नए लाइव में, जहां पे नए कॉन्सेप्ट्स जो है पाइथन के हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. विद दिस, बाय बाय एवरीवन, सी या एंड टेक केयर. अ वेरी गुड नाइट.